Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ninja News. Today we're going to interview my friend Tony James. What's up, Tony?
What's up, guys? What's up, Chucky Curry? Good to see you,
Everything's
brother.
everything, man. Where you been? What's been up with you?
Man, I've been good. I've been good. Everything's been great. It's good to be down here visiting with you, my man. It's an awesome time. I'm looking forward to spending some quality time with you. Much past due. Things will be
Okay.
good.
So, how did you like working on Triple X State of the Union?
That was awesome, man. It was a great experience. Be able to be in cahoots with you, to be able to just to be around the other actors, the experience, that rush, just to know that we're creating, we're part of the world, we're permeating, we're getting outside of our own spheres, and we're national, worldwide. Being on a set was cool, man.
Yeah, and you know what else I was thinking about? I remember the last time we were talking, and it's like you were at the special convention down at the Hyatt. Can you tell us a little bit about what you were doing? It was a surprise to run into you because, you know, I wasn't expecting you at all. So,
Right?
it was just such a surprise. It was like, bam, what's that it? So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, you bet. You know, when I was down there, Chucky, I was at it was a convention. It's more for advanced emotional intelligence, advanced emotional leadership. And so that convention is about people coming outside of discovering who they are inside. A lot of times we walk through life and in our own assumptions, in our own space, in our own head, that we are the way we are, and we respond to people the way we respond to. But a lot of times we don't know that we have wounds. We don't know that we have triggers. We don't know that somebody can say something to us and subconsciously it affects us. So being there, I've had the opportunity to go through the facilitations, go through the class, step into leadership, go into leading and staffing and helping other people. But the key is deciding that we want to develop ourselves, find out what's going on inside, identify the self-limiting beliefs and habits, the holdups, and then release those. So learning new tools, how to get rid of that, and then eventually getting to the point where we can get leadership out to the outside world. So that was where I was at. And yeah, it's a great leadership academy for emotional intelligence and personal development. Yeah. So what have you been up to, Chucky? What's been going on with you?
Well, I've been kind of talking to a couple of different directors and producers, and agents and managers, and I'm working on making Into the Tiger full feature film, which is a lot of work. I'm working on the script, talking to different actors and, different people that's in the business. Not too long ago, I was interested in doing the John Wick 4. I know that's coming up.
Oh, that'd be awesome,
But
buddy.
the only thing what I found out is one of the guys who's the director is almost like a competitor, so to speak, because he's a student of Danny Asano, who's like Bruce Lee's top student protege. And I like Danny Asano. Danny and me is really cool. So, but by that being his student, you can kind of understand it's like a middle between there. Because as you know, I am a world champion, Black Belt Hall of Famer and Masters Hall of Famer.
And not just one time, right?
Oh no, several times.
And what is that in? You've got weapons. Tell me about it.
Yeah,
Because I remember you. I'm trying to remember because there was a lot.
Yeah, I have world championships in forms, fighting, and weapons.
Forms.
Yeah, well, forms is when you do a lot of moves. Boom, 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 boom. Your kicks, your punches. I was the first to ever do it with music. So that made it like international now. It's like the biggest thing in the world. Martial arts is not martial arts no more, thanks to music. And I didn't just do regular music, because I do know about capoeira. As a matter of fact, when capoeira came to town, I was the opening act for the capoeiras.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I performed to Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think the song was Fantasy, because everybody has a fantasy. But first time I went to the tournament, I competed with Shake Your Body Down to the Ground by Michael Jackson. And it had never been seen before. The tournament circuit didn't even have a division for that.
Just some Michael Jackson.
Yeah, creative form. As a matter of fact, I met Michael Jackson too. It's just been a really good thing. But we'll talk about me. I want to talk about you.
Okay. All right. So here we are. We've been friends for a long time, Chuck. And what you're up to and what you're creating to is just awesome. There are many people that have a commitment to excellence, a commitment to serve, a commitment to really share with this world an inner beauty within themselves. And a man of faith is hard to come by. So I just want to say I'm proud to be here, man, and I'm proud to be your friend. So thank you for this opportunity to be with you again.
You know what, Tony? What's so funny is I always get the return to my mind of that one time that we were going to Burbank. And I had an actor friend in the car with us. And you had a brand new vehicle. It was like top of the line, just out of the plastic.
Yeah.
And I remember
my Lincoln Navigator. Yeah.
Okay, I hadn't really known that guy for long, so he was like just going with us on the trip. So when he put his foot in the middle or your contour. I remember,
like center console.
yeah, you were like, what the hell is this? And I was like, oh my God. And you know, you're the kind of guy, you don't just hold back, you let it flow. You know, you let it, you're just like, hey, Chucky, wait a minute. Your friend here needs to move his foot off of my brand new console.
Yeah,
So,
that was hilarious, man. We were on the way to a red carpet event. Weren't we?
Yeah, we were on our way to go see Bill Duke, and we ended up getting caught on that fire road, so we were late and we missed him.
Yeah, we ended up getting there. You got into the after party. You got into the after party. That was really cool.
Yeah, but we didn't get to see Bill Duke. Everybody was telling us that he came and went.
Yeah.
But later on, I did find him. I caught up to him. I had to make sure to make up for that because, you know, director Bill Duke don't just show up to meet somebody.
Right. So that was a fun time, man. That was we need to do more of that stuff, man. We need to do some more of that stuff. So what's next up for you, my man? I know you're asking. I think you're putting together a film, and I think, are you on your second film now? Is it Enter the Tiger?
Yes.
All right, what's going on with Enter the Tiger, buddy?
Well, Enter the Tiger, I'm doing a full feature film. We already did a little short one, which was very successful. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the full feature film. So I'm talking to some people in Las Vegas, and I'm talking to some people, as a matter of fact, I'm talking to Giovanni, you know, who's the last director of the last movie.
Okay.
So I'm trying to bring him on board, and I met a couple of other different directors and producers. So, you know, I'm just trying to bring them into the mix and make things happen. You know, it's going to be dynamite. It's going to be a lot of action. I don't feel we need any explosive. You know, a lot of movies, they want to have cars blowing up and
yeah, cars, sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Yeah, I understand that. You know, I do have an interest in having a fine little girl in there with me, but you know, she got to be fine and she got to be, you know, she got to be talented too. You know, you can't just get somebody in there that's beautiful, but then they can't act.
Right. That's right.
So you got to know how to mix it up. I did have Ronda Rousey, you know, wrote into the original script.
Okay.
You know, since then, Ronda then became pretty popular, you know.
Right.
But
well, you know what? You always have great relationships with people over the years, man, and people remember you, and that's just phenomenal, man. I tell you, I mean, no matter where you go, years later, people remember you and they respect you.
Hey, man, you know, I've been on that circuit for a long time. Mm-hmm. I was on that circuit for 25 years. You know, I mean, I lit up a whole nother dimension, as Danny Asano told me. Danny said, you know, Chucky, you connected the martial arts world to the music and entertainment world.
Right.
Because everybody was trying to be like Bruce Lee. Wasn't nobody having any kind of room for creativity. It was all like, I'm Bruce Lee. I'm Bruce Lee. No, I'm Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I already knew that Bruce Lee was within. Mm-hmm. So it didn't have nothing to do with me.
So let me ask you a real question for a minute. So when it comes to acting and getting out there in the spotlight and doing what you're doing, what is it about actors that make it big, and what is it about actors that don't make it big? So, because one thing I noticed about you is, of all the people I know that get into acting and get out there, a lot of them forget to be humble, that humility. How do you stay centered? What's been keeping you going? I mean, every time I see you, no matter what, you're never caught up in the hype, you're never caught up into drama. You stay humble. How do you do it?
I think the main thing is, what it really is that I've been working in films for a while. You know, I started working with movie cameras when I was like 16.
Yeah.
One of my teachers brought me a movie camera, and I'd already been taking drama and acting. So it was just always fun for me. I mean, it was like a natural thing to me. It's almost like, you know, going camping. You know, once you do it so much, it's just, you know what you got to do. You got to have that setup. You're going to have the wood, the food, the tissue, all of the basics. Yeah. Okay. And as far as some people who get into the industry, one of Bruce Lee's friends told me, he said, Chucky, you know, it's thousands of martial artists, you know, maybe millions of martial artists that want to be in movies. He said, but the whole thing is they can't act.
Right.
You know, they could kick and punch, but that's not acting, you know. Right. Acting is more than just kicking and punching. You know, you get a stuntman that could kick and punch.
Yeah.
But in order to get an actor, you know, like I asked this one guy not too long ago, he's like, I want to be in your movie. And I was like, well, have you taken any acting classes? And he was like, no, but I can do it. Yeah. And I go, nah, that might be a little bit of a problem on the set, you know, because certain things you got to know when the director asks you.
Right.
The director says stage left, stage right, you got to know that. And to turn on the drama where you're like, ah, or hi. You got to be able to switch those concepts quickly.
Right.
And of course, I met with like George Clooney and Brad Pitt and Bernie Mac and all these different people that's in the industry. And they was always really cool with me. Even the directors, everybody was cool. Because, you know, how you react to how they react is all about the reaction.
Okay.
So if you go in there and you're stiff, they're gonna know your stuff.
All right.
If you go in there and you fluid, they're gonna know that you fluid.
Right.
Like the way that me and you met and how we talked, it was just an automatic thing. There was no bridges between us. We were just cool.
Just
you know?
real people, man.
And from that point on, it just keeps on going. You know, some people, like I said, then you got to join the union. Like Brad Pitt told me, Chucky, you need to join the union. I was like, man, that costs $5,000. He said, yeah, but you could do it. I was like, $5,000. Damn, you know, it's hard to get $1,000 for it. But now this guy talking about 5,000.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, he told me that he had a hard time in the beginning. He had to wear a chicken suit. He had to do what he had to do in order to get where he had to go.
Who's this, Brad Pitt?
Brad
had to
Pitt.
wear a chicken suit?
He had to wear a chicken suit in the middle of the street in the hot weather.
What?
But at the same time, he was taking classes with that money. He was going to take classes. And the next thing you know, his opportunity came. He got him a good agent. And I read a book. As a matter of fact, I'll let you check out that book. This book is really interesting. And I read the whole book. It says if you want to act, basically just put down this book.
Okay.
and just go out there and do
Right.
it. But, you know, to me, you had to study your craft. You know, it's like, for instance, some people, they want to be good at martial arts, but then they don't want to practice martial arts. They don't want to go through the whole routine. But you got to go through it in order to get it.
Right.
It's like I tell people really quick. I tell people, I was like, you can't get to the top of Mount Everest by just looking up there. You're not going to just arrive.
Right.
You're going to have to climb. And it's going to be a lot of little stops and a lot of little setbacks, but you're going to have to keep on climbing until you get to the top.
And when you speak of climbing, this is what I want to ask. So when you become a world champion martial arts, forms, katas, and what was the third technique?
Weapons, forms. Man, what is it? I'm a fighting champion too.
Okay, yeah. So when you get to that point, when you commit to, and this goes for everybody out there, because anybody hearing your message, we all are on this quest, this path to really be the best in our field, to be the best in our industry. So for you, what kept you in that drive to be the best? Were you running away from something that says, hey, I am going to fight and leave it all out on the mat? Or were you saying, I want to be the best, I want to be excelling? But what was your motivating drive? What was in your head that said, I am committed to being the best? I'm committed to being my best version of myself. What was happening for you all those years that you were training?
Well, with that one, I think I'm going to have to sit down and try to chop it up with you real quick. Basically, ever since I was a kid, you know, I always wanted to be the best at what I wanted to do. You know, like if you're playing baseball, you know, you don't want to go up there and be striking out. And once you hit a home run, you want to hit another home run.
Right.
And then you want to hit another home run. And so all the time I would go to practice, I didn't want to miss, because I knew the teacher taught me, hey, if you lag, you lose. And I listened to philosophy. And then I watched like how Bruce Lee did. I know Bruce Lee had been training, I guess, basically about maybe 15 years in the martial arts before he died. You know, or you could say 25 if you want to. He died at 32. So that would mean, you know, he did start off in the Tai Chi. And his father was an actor, so he had some connections in the business. And I just, you know, when I would practice myself, and I never wanted nobody to just beat me, whether it was in forms, whether it was in fighting, or whether it was in weapons. So I just took the opportunity to just push myself, you know, because you will have obstacles. Like when I met Richard Pryor said, you know, you're going to have a million people like you, a million people hate you, but you can't let them stop you.
Right.
And the same thing Chuck Norris said, people are going to put obstacles in front of you. You just got to back up and run and jump over it. So all of these different tournaments, as they were coming, you know, I had made a living, you know, off of tournaments. After my first performance, I think I was about 10 years old or 11 years old when I performed the Kung Fu Fighting. And we got silver dollars. So that was the first money I made. So then later on, around 14, one of my teachers gave me like about $50. He said, Chucky, all these black belts are here, but you're the only one I'm paying. As a matter of fact, his name was Tom Wong. To me, he was like Bruce Lee in the flesh.
Nice.
So, you know, from that point, he gave me that $50, and I was like, wow, you know, I'm doing something I'm liking, I'm getting paid for it. So I started going into making movies when I was in high school, and we made a movie with me and Scott Coker called Into the Tiger, and it was a really big hit because Scott Coker kicked the guy. Pow! So after he kicked the guy, everybody wanted to see the movie.
Yeah.
And it was like 1978. But the next thing you know, the movie got stolen. So once the movie got stolen, that broke my heart. And I was like, well, damn. So I started making other little short movies. And then my movie camera got stolen. My movies got stolen. And that was really frustrating, you know, because you go through hell to try to make these movies and somebody steals them. Right. So then I decided to forget that. I'll wait to do movies later on. So luckily, I ended up getting into the union and meeting people like you and Brad Pitt and Bernie Mac and, you know, Holly Berry and
Mm.
Prince, and
Mhm.
I mean, I met pretty
Ice
much
Cube.
everybody.
And,
Yeah,
yeah.
I met everybody who I wanted to meet, and I got to talk to them backstage because, you know, like the Ninja News, I know how to get around and do the throwdown.
That's
you
it.
know, you got to communicate. If you can't communicate, you're out of it, and you can't be in the crowd. You got to step out of the crowd. If you stay in the crowd, you're gonna stay in the crowd.
Right. No, that's awesome. So you're just your source of energy, your source of not quitting. How do you speak into that? You know, how do you speak into that?
How do I speak into that? How do you speak into that? You do the same kind of thing. You doing all kinds of stuff. I'll get back to me. I just had enough time on the script. Come on in here. Let me talk to you a little bit.
So what's the question? What
The question is, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you concentrated? And what keeps you successful?
Thanks, brother.
All of that at the same time.
It can all be summed up into one of the guiding principles, and I think that's really pivotal in what you're doing with martial arts. I studied when I was younger, but not for a long period of time. But one of the things that I really focus on with everything is really identifying the why. Because without the why, and without being focused on the universal good, we lose track. We lose focus of our success. We lose focus of what we're going after. When we look at all the things that we want to do, if we said, hey, how do I want to change this world? How do I want to impact people? I want to impact people by my success, by my business, by the things that I consider are important. So for me, the vision, when I say this, I go, the focus for me is to help people get where they need to go. And I honestly can't do that if I'm really sitting back, focusing on myself, caring about myself, and not willing to get over my self-limiting beliefs and my issues. So for me, helping people get to where they need to go is my main drive. That's what drives me towards success. It's what drives me towards pushing. It's what makes me want to start another business. It's what makes me launch another business. It's what makes me launch another office environment. It's what makes me have an office in Southern California, Northern California, Washington, etc. So that's the experience that you've seen over the years of everything that I do creates movement, it creates action, it creates energy for other people. So my focus, my success is really to be outward with other people and help them get to where they need to go. That's been the key to me. What keeps me driving forward is that I want to make a difference in people's lives. I really do. That's my core.
Great. Man, so with that being said, see, you answer a lot of questions for a lot of people. So as far as I'm concerned, we almost can say that's a wrap because I know how time is on film.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's really good that you giving back and you want to give in. See, a lot of people are selfish and self-centered. So that's as far as they get. They're not going to go no further. If they don't put out, they're not going to get back.
Right.
It's like for every action, there's an opposite and inner reaction.
Right.
So you got to do something to get something.
Okay.
A lot of people, only thing they want to do is take from you.
They want to
But
take.
like what you did and what you say, you trying to discover ways to helping others.
Yeah.
And so the more you help others, the more God helps you.
Amen.
So, you know, you can't beat that with a baseball bat. So let's call that a wrap.
What? Chucky.
Thank you.
Love you, bro.
You too, man.
All
God
right.
bless.
Thank you.
Hey, so once again, we thank you, Tony, for being a part of the Ninja News.
Thank you,
A
Chucky
true
Craig.
ninja. We see you very soon.
Guys. Go get him, everybody.
All right. God bless.